Right now at 6, fast-moving wildfires force people to flee at a moment's notice.
I was thinking, I hope it doesn't burn down. We may not see this house again.
Plus, switching hands. Who will be taking over investigations into deadly police shootings in Clark County?
Fair, unbiased, independent investigations. That's what we want to provide.
And later, how the Oregon Ducks are making a big splash as they say hello to the Big Ten. We begin at 6 with dangerous and life-threatening fire conditions that appear to be growing more volatile by the day. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pitawanich. Today, the U.S. Forest Service activated its highest wildfire response level. They say it's due to record-breaking dry timber conditions. Some parts of Oregon have gone more than 2 months without meaningful rain. Fires are also impacting travel. Right now, I-84, the main route between Portland and Boise, is shut down because of a massive wildfire in Baker County. Eastbound 84 is closed near Pendleton, and both directions are closed from LeGrand to Ontario, with ODOT giving no estimated time frame for reopening.
So let's get right to team coverage. Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino tracking the winds in the Weather Center, and meteorologist Joe Ranieri near Mosier, where fire crews have been working to save homes from a wildfire there. Joe, what is the very latest?
Well, the latest, David and Christine, is this fire quickly has increased in size. Now, when we first got here around noon today, it was at 300 acres. Now, fast forward to tonight, it's doubled that. It's close to 600 acres. It's burning about 2 miles south of where we're at right now. I can tell you, you can obviously smell the smoke. The haze and smoke, though, has lightened up a little bit from when we got here earlier today. Now, I did speak with a couple of people who were forced to evacuate last night. Now, the fire forced a level 3 go now evacuation. But thankfully, crews from all over the state who are out here were able to protect about a dozen homes off of Hood River Road. Earlier today at the Senator Hatfield Trailhead, a woman dropped off sandwiches and donuts for the crew who've been out here for hours. She's more than thankful because they worked around the clock to make sure her house was saved.
I was thinking, I hope it doesn't burn down. We may not see this house again. They evacuated our hill. And so we left yesterday afternoon. I was rattled. I didn't know if I'd be able to get back in my house.
Heidi Hart, who you just heard there from, you guys, it tells me that the winds out here yesterday were peaking right around 45 to 50 miles an hour. That's a big reason why this wildfire quickly spread. And I have spoke with a couple crews out here earlier today who tell me that this area here is going to be closed down for another 24 hours. I should say the evacuation notice is going to be in place for another 24 hours. They're also hoping to open some cooling shelters for people who don't have power. Back to you.
Well, some good news at least with those lighter winds. Thank you, Joe. To the east, across the Columbia in Washington's Klickitat County, level 3 go now evacuations are in place because of the Big Horn fire. It's burning east of the town of Bickleton. Evacuations include people in the Hale Road area south to the river. The Big Horn fire has burned more than 14,000 acres since it sparked Monday afternoon. It is now about 1% contained.
Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino with the Weather Center. Matt, are you seeing any improvement in conditions in the gorge and around these fires?
Yeah, we saw a little bit of improvement today, Christine, with the winds. Look at the Dalles right now. It's not nearly as smoky as it was last night. And the winds are down to 10 miles an hour. They're still gusting to 18, which is still problematic. 18 miles an hour may not sound like a lot of wind, but when it's working on a fire, pushing flames, it's a lot of wind. Not as much as what we saw last night when we were consistently getting gusts over 35 and as high as 48 miles an hour. So that's the good news. The winds have dropped off quite a bit, but they're going to come back, unfortunately. Now, downwind of all the fires from Douglas County clear up to Wallowa County, or at least up to Union County, we've got air quality alerts everywhere downwind from a fire is seeing thick smoke and problems with that. We've got fire weather warnings and still excessive heat warnings for Malheur County. They can't seem to lose 100-degree weather down there. Let's focus on the gorge first. And you can see the smoke backs off in the morning hour from the microwave tower fire. You don't see any smoke there, nor the Bighorn fire. It backs way off, right? But in the afternoon, Bighorn fire flares up. So does the microwave tower fire. And then, of course, way more smoke from the bigger fires over in eastern Oregon there too. So we will be living with smoke, at least a good part of the state will, for days to come. Here on the west side, not really an issue because of the westerly winds we have over us, keeping the smoke away from the Willamette Valley. So we're in good shape because of that. So look at the wind forecast for the Dalles tonight, and this is similar to what they'll experience in Mosier. Maybe it'll be a little bit less in Mosier, but still some gusts between now and 8 o'clock, up around 20 miles an hour. Then they back way off, so that's great. That'll give the crews a chance to hopefully make some headway with these fires overnight tonight, because the winds come back tomorrow. They come back Wednesday and Thursday. Christine, David?
Thank you, Matt. Let's widen out now and talk about eastern Oregon, where 4 so-called mega fires, those that have charred at least 100,000 acres, are now burning.
So it is an especially dangerous situation for 2 communities in particular. First, in northern Grant County, the Boneyard fire has now burned to within a mile of the town of Monument. It's home to just over 100 people. Everyone was ordered to leave yesterday when wind pushed that fire south toward town. The Boneyard fire is just 2% contained at this point and is close to merging with 2 other large fires.
Yeah, a lot to keep track of, and we're still in July. In Baker County, the town of Huntington is home to about 500 people. It's now been fully evacuated as well. This is because of the Durkee fire. It's burned nearly 250,000 acres and began pushing east toward I-84 on Monday. ODOT, as we mentioned, shut down I-84 between Baker City and Ontario. That's at least a 75-mile closure. There are many others. Please trip check if you're headed anywhere in that region. Abby Wilt from our sister station in Boise sent us this update from the fire line.
A fast-moving fire.
We went to bed Thursday night and all we could see was some smoke, off in the distance.
Threatening homes, structures, and livestock in eastern Oregon, including Allison Osmonds, who lives outside of Huntington.
And they said, hey, you guys might want to get up and get some things going here because the fire's, up over on the hill.
The Durkee fire started Thursday night by lightning and is nearly 240,000 acres as of Tuesday and 0% contained. It surrounded Allison's home, but didn't burn it.
It crested this hill above our field at about, I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then it started coming down into our field.
Allison has also been without power, alongside about 540 other customers in Huntington, according to Idaho Power. Allison says she never thought this would actually happen.
We were preparing for it. We have cattle out here and some horses to keep the grass eaten down, just in case of this scenario. And we didn't think it would ever do this.
She says her neighbors, alongside firefighters, saved her home. There are 635 ground and air personnel on the Durkee fire now, using all the resources they have.
As it came down into the field, everyone just went out there with shovels and their little pumpers. There's some ranchers that have stuff like this. They pumped water out of our swimming pool when their tanks ran dry.
Even though Allison is still on level 3 evacuation notice, she says she feels like her home is safe as the fire has already surrounded it. Now she says it's her turn to help her neighbors.
What a story. That was Abby Wilt reporting. For the very latest on the wildfires, stay with us here and online at KGW.com. Also, don't forget to download the KGW app for all your breaking news, weather, and wildfire alerts for your area.
In your headlines now, we have new video just in from Southwest Portland where a pickup truck crashed into an apartment building. The crash was just before 4 this afternoon at the Cloverleaf Apartments on Southwest Bertha Boulevard. It's near the Burlingame Fred Meyer. It appears the truck went through a retaining wall, then hit the corner of the building, causing a balcony to collapse. It does not appear anyone was injured. No word yet if the driver has been detained.
After months of political back and forth, Multnomah County commissioners will be hearing a proposal this week to address slow ambulance response times. Back in February, Commissioner Sharon Myron had a plan to soften the county's long-standing 2-paramedic rule. It would allow provider AMR to staff ambulances with a paramedic and an EMT instead. Portland City Council passed a resolution in support of the plan, but Chair Jessica Vega Peterson has refused to let it come up for debate, arguing standards of care would suffer. Now commissioners will discuss the plan at Thursday morning's meeting.
The Portland Opera has come out in support of a plan to replace the aging Keller Auditorium with a new performing arts center on the Portland State campus. That's one of 3 plans now before City Council. Option 2, building a new auditorium at the Lloyd Center. Option 3, renovating the current Keller. In a statement today, Opera officials say they oppose the renovation plan because it would require a lengthy closure, which they say would hurt the Opera and other companies still trying to rebound from the pandemic. We are expecting a final decision from City Council by the end of August.
And Hillary Clinton will be making a stop in Portland a couple weeks ahead of the November election. The former First Lady, Senator, Secretary of State, and 2016 Democratic nominee is scheduled to take the stage at the Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall October 21st. Clinton will be in town to talk about her newest book called Something Lost, Something Gained: Reflections on Life, Love, and Liberty. It'll be moderated, and the audience will get a chance to interact. Tickets will go on sale August 2nd. And some big changes to talk about coming to Clark County. Just announced this morning, a Washington state agency will take over investigating deadly police shootings.
Let's bring in Daisy Caballero in the newsroom with a look at the new Office of Independent Investigations. Daisy?
Exactly, David. Yeah, but it's not just Clark County they'll be overseeing. They will also include 11 other counties like Cowlitz and Skamania.
Let's have somebody other than the police doing the investigations when police are at the core of what happened.
Starting December 1st of this year, deadly police shootings in parts of Washington will no longer be investigated by regional law enforcement partners, but rather investigated by a state agency called the Office of Independent Investigations.
Our investigators will be out at the scene, collecting the evidence, interviewing witnesses, collecting body cam.
Roger Rogoff is the director of the OII, an agency created by the Washington legislature in 2021.
Fair, unbiased, independent investigations. That's what we want to provide.
OII will begin operating in phase rollouts divided into 6 regions. The first will include the Olympic Peninsula, coastal, and southwest counties, including Clark, Cowlitz, and Skamania. But why the phased approach?
Simply a function of where our resources are, where our investigators are. In order to respond to an incident that occurs anywhere in the state, we have to have enough investigators in that area so that we can respond in a timely manner.
The agency currently has 22 investigators on staff, but will need 15 to 18 investigators in each region to function effectively.
And as soon as we have enough investigators in those regions, we will be ready to proceed in those regions as well. So my hope is that in short order, we begin opening in other regions as well after December 1st, 2024.
OII will also have a family liaison role for each region, which is a person tasked with providing information to the families of the people killed by police and connecting them to support.
Now, the agency says it will also have a tribal relations program to provide tribal leaders with updates about investigations that impact their members. I am also told by the OII that this is the first agency of this kind nationally. Other states have independent investigation teams, but those are usually part of an attorney general's office. Back to you guys.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long it takes for those investigators to get up and running in all the regions of Washington. Thank you, Daisy.